Oh, yo, Salacious Savage is here on another Tuesday night. Here for another episode of Post to Post. Oh, yeah, with the Salacious Savage, the Will of Joins, the Corey of Chapel, and the Gordon of Commissions. We are here today for another episode of Post to Post. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I like how yours is a Batman reference, Corey.
right.
I know. I'm cool with it.
That was great.
I didn't expect Batman to come out.
I'll take it.
Salacious Savage loves the Batman. Oh, yeah.
Has Salacious Savage seen the Batman yet?
Oh, no.
I was hoping you'd be able to pull a gun. Oh no.
Yeah, no, I have not seen the new Batman.
My birthday week right now. My birthday's Wednesday, so I'll be doing
Happy
some
early birthday.
I think I'm going to go watch it tomorrow, hopefully. And
I need to go see it. I don't know when. The only thing I've done recently was I got the ball rolling on my phone upgrade. It'll be at Best Buy on Thursday, and then I've got a couple other steps to do, and then I'm done.
Nice.
I'll have the fancy Z Fold 5G 3 or whatever the fuck it's called. That motherfucker that folds into a tablet.
Right. Awesome.
It's going to be pretty slick. I'm excited. But beyond that, damn, it's been a minute since we had the whole gang on here. Grayson missed the last time it was Between Two Cors.
Right.
I know. The only Corey to Corey action I get is from the My Truth rape documentary.
Oh, God.
You know, I paid the $20 to stream that shit.
Wow.
Did you really?
I'm not gonna. I told you about it, Corey. I told you I was going to. They didn't stream it till like fucking 12 in the morning or 1 a.m. when it fucking was supposed to debut, but then the hackers kept it from being shown or some shit. I don't fucking know. All I know is I got to watch it on the replay like a week ago. Hey man, I enjoyed it. Okay, documentary for what it was. And like, was it anything anyone didn't already kind of know? Not really. I mean, one of them was, but you know, you gotta find a copy to know what I'm talking about. No spoilers here.
Everything you imagine happened, and then one thing that was even worse.
The main takeaway that I got from it was Corey Feldman still has terrible fashion sense.
Well, that's a guarantee.
That's really all you walk away from with.
Back in the day, man, he was, him and Corey Haim, man. Those were the original two Corys.
Yeah,
and they did get a license to drive.
They did get a license to drive. Lost Boys was...
They were some Lost Boys.
Was one of my favorite movies as a kid growing up. It's just... they were dominating the landscape at the time, you know. The Teen Beat magazine was a thing, you know. There's
it's the pictures of Tiger Beat.
Yeah, that was it, Tiger Beat. I was sitting here trying to remember. Let me get some of the Tiger Beats.
Nice.
Tiger Beat magazine.
Yeah. We don't
Corey
have,
was a centerfold one time.
you know, people can just look at their phones and everybody else doesn't have to actually visually see that shit anymore.
Yeah.
They're just actually looking it up.
Everyone listening, go look at Tiger Beat. I'm sure you already know. Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, all these other ones.
16.
There's like one for every possible facet of girl enjoyment.
Whatever, man. Tiger Beat held no candle to highlights for kids.
Let me get that Goofus and Gallet, son.
That's right. We do them hidden pictures. Let me get them hidden pictures or spot the difference between the images. I feel like we went off a tangent here. I'm cool with that just because I haven't been here in a while. But
Swing of things, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tangent Time with the boys. But I know Grayson dropped the control your narrative thing. This is the one thing I want to touch on before we dive into talking about Revolution. What sort of fucking weird ass rumors have you heard about that fucking? I'm not going to say promotion. Weird subcontractor group.
Okay, so from what I have kind of read or seen some of, apparently it's just a dumpster fire, in my opinion. That's where it's coming out. I don't understand it. I don't really want to understand it, and I'm not really interested. But here's what I found. So the way people are how it's kind of thrown at you is every single person on there is the agent, the booker, the promoter, and your performer. They do all their own stuff, and I'm like, so what is this, fucking WCW going on right now? Everyone has creative control and controls every single thing. We're going to control your narrative by everyone controlling their own narrative. Therefore, nothing gets done because no one's willing to do a job. That's how I hear it.
It sounds like it could easily get there real quick. 2,
I haven't seen a video, but Adam Sure may or may not have kicked a kid in the face.
Oh shit!
But he got tossed over the barricade, and when he did his flip over or something, apparently he kicked a kid in the face. There's a video of it. I haven't been able to.
Not on purpose, or
no, not on purpose.
It
was just he flipped over. He got tossed over the barricade outside with the crowd.
That kind of shit.
Ultimately, it just seems more like this is going to be the promotion for all the canceled wrestlers. That's what it feels like. So
yeah, that's what I've been hearing as well. It's a very conservative right-wing promotion.
Yeah, it's like Austin Aries, who's super anti-vax and shit. Mm-hmm. You've got Jackson Riker, or Gunner, if you're going Impact, who, Trumpy Trump, anti-vax, all that nonsense. Mm-hmm. And then Adam. I don't really know where his stance is on everything. I just know it's kind of funny that he talks shit about indie wrestlers, and now he's an indie wrestler, in a sense.
That is also funny.
And then EC3, who I thought he was cool and underutilized, but now I just feel like he's crazy and off the deep end, and he's dragging people into his craziness.
I would lean more towards that being very factual.
It gives the vibe of QAnon for wrestling.
Oh God!
My thing is just
and I'm someone here who's met Jackson Riker and worked on a show with Jackson Riker, and when he was Gunner, and you couldn't ask for a better person in the locker room, but all this shit wasn't going on at the time. I've seen the tweets and shit like that, and it's like, I know how people can get caught up in this shit.
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
Easy. When they say control your narrative, maybe it's just because it's what you want your narrative to be than what it really is sometimes. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't give a shit if you're left or right or whatever. There's always truth to the matter. So, but anybody can bend it to whatever they want. And I just don't want to see that in wrestling. That's not what I want to see. And I mean, when you say canceled wrestlers, all I can think of is Joey Ryan. I'm like, please let him not be in wrestling anymore.
I don't think they'll go that far when it comes to breaking in canceled wrestlers. That right there will demolish anything they ever wanted to accomplish.
Right.
I think it's more of not the Me Too cancel, but more of political cancel.
I see.
That's how I feel like it is, just based off the fact it's Austin Aries, Jackson Riker.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too. It's like their mission statement. It sounds good, but the proof will be in the pudding. And as of right now, I haven't seen anything more than a bunch of hot air.
Well, I can't make I won't have an opinion until I see some product.
They supposedly have 2 episodes up on their YouTube page.
Uh-huh.
And then they've got the 2 events this month. One just happened. There's another one, I think, next week or whatever. And then they're doing their first televised, quote unquote, on Pro Wrestling TV. which is a new streaming TV service that debuts the day CYN debuts for their TV show.
Yep.
So, no idea where to get it, no idea the cost, no idea how many loops it'll go through to get to it. I will probably ignore.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I know.
Despite the fact that I did watch XPW Rebirth, and yet I'm going to skip this. And the fact I'm going to get XPW California, I'm still going to probably skip this.
Oh, man. Laying it out there for him.
Well, just to put a little bit more perspective, there is actually a wrestling event going on called FWE this weekend, I think. I think it's the 12th.
On Saturday.
That's on Saturday. And you know who's going to be there?
Who?
EC3.
I'll be goddamn.
He's going to be wrestling. I sent you that picture, I think, Corey, so I could probably just find it real fast.
Yeah, you sent it to me. And I looked at it and said, no, thank you.
We're gonna do a hard pass. So the card is like a 20-man battle royal. You've got Dream Girl Ellie versus Rachel Ellering. So it's cool that we get an Ellering on the card.
Yeah, she's been doing some AEW stuff and NWA stuff, I think.
Yeah, then it's a bunch of New York indie wrestlers versus some North Carolina local indie wrestlers. I don't know any of them, so I'm not even going to name them. Then they've got a tag team championship match. I don't know who they are, but it's Simply Perfect, and then Tim and Movie Mike. You want to know who they are?
Who?
Yep.
Very good.
And then a fatal four-way for a hardcore championship. No one I know. Okay, EC3 is wrestling someone I've never heard of, Caprice Coleman. No, Caprice Coleman. Okay, that's about right. And then, oh yeah, this is one of their big attractions. They got La Resistance, the French tag team from early
WWE.
Early PC era. Was that the PG era? Was that early 2000s?
That was
Ruthless
Aggression era.
Yeah, Ruthless Aggression. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got Conway and Grenier, and they're facing some team called Level X. No idea who that is for the tag championship. Oh, and Gunner's going to be there. Gunner is wrestling for the United States Championship. So Jackson Riker. And then for the heavyweight title is actually one I would like to see, and that's Chris Masters versus Carlito.
Carlito!
They were a tag team basically there for a while.
Yep.
That would make sense. I think they're coming to North Carolina. Is that right? Where is that at in North Carolina?
This is going to be out in Raleigh.
It's at the fair, Raleigh Fairgrounds. That's where they're going.
Nice.
So
that's interesting for sure for anybody who remembers that era of WWE. It's not
and
bad.
for fans of EC3.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know any.
I didn't really care for him in TNA, and I felt bad for him in NXT and main roster because he had the look and he could work, but they never did anything with him. And then I felt bad, and I was glad he got released, but now he's just doing his, I don't know, I just feel like he's going a little too deep into his own Kool-Aid.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that do. But let's go ahead and not depress ourselves anymore. And let's talk about yesterday and how fucking good it was. As a whole.
How good it was? I only missed one match.
You know how many I missed? I missed 4 because I missed 2 at the beginning and then I had to go to sleep. So I missed 2 at the end.
Oh, I was talking about predictions.
I missed more than that.
I only missed 1.
I saw everything. So once you go down the line, I've got an opinion for each match. So I can't wait to really.
I got to look at mine because I forgot what I put down. I've got yours saved too. I know I just changed some things for stuff I wanted to see happen because honestly, even though secretly I was like, I don't think it's going to happen, I still said I wanted Red Dragon to win, even though I knew it was going to happen. I still put it down.
Right.
Just like I wanted Thunder Rosa to win so fucking bad.
That was my one miss.
I initially I was about to circle Moxley in the Danielson match, but I second guessed myself. I was like, no, they're not going to team up unless Danielson wins. and so I circled Danielson instead. And then after I circled Keith Lee for the face of the Revolution thing, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I fucked myself on this because it's going to be Wardlow. And I was right after the fact.
Yep.
And then I chose the Hardy family office because I was like, God damn, they never give the rub to Andrade. But that was just a personal thought on that one.
Andrade is jacked as fuck right now.
No
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Oh my God. I was just like, dude has put on some mass, especially in his shoulders, man. It's crazy.
He is fucking huge. It is ridiculous. But yeah, I missed like 50% of it just because I was going with the heart instead of the gut, and it was a bad move, a bad look. So let's start it off with the pre-show. We had first match, Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. I quickly watched it a little while ago just because I was told it was the first time Layla Hirsch has ever done a good fucking moonsault.
Yes.
And that was validated.
I literally, like, as soon as I saw it, because I bought the pay-per-view, I was like, oh, it's my birthday week. I'm gonna buy the pay-per-view. I never buy the pay-per-view. Either somebody buys it and I throw them some money or something, or buy some food or something, you know. But I haven't bought a pay-per-view at the house, and I couldn't tell you when. And I was like, I really want to see this pay-per-view because it is a pretty stacked card, I think. And so I'm ready for this stuff. And I really like Layla a lot. I think she's got all the tools to be a really good wrestler. She's just lacking in charisma. But they got her, they're trying like hell to get her over as a heel. And the minute I saw that moonsault at the finish, I was like, finally, she done the most beautiful moonsault of her career.
I know.
I was so proud and happy for her in that sense. You know what I mean? It's like, because me and you both had this conversation many times about her moonsault, and it's like, don't do it anymore because it just doesn't look good. And we couldn't ask for better, I don't think, in this one.
But still, don't do it anymore. Quit while you're ahead.
Right.
All I gotta say is the fucking I don't know, you call it Frankenstein or Hurricane Rod off the apron to the floor.
Yeah.
On Statlander.
Mm-hmm.
God, that just looked painful.
All right. Ooh. And it wasn't the best that they had done before. I thought they'd done better. Mm-hmm. It hit sort of flat. I mean, they trying like hell to get Layla to look like super heelish, but she's just believable as a badass. So it's hard to make her look like a chicken shit heel, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those.
She's just not meant to be a chicken shit.
No, she can't. She can't be that type of heel. She has to be like.
She has to be a badass.
Yeah, she has to be that one, but she doesn't have the charisma for it. So what she needs is mouthpiece. And I'll say it again ad nauseum. Put her in the crew with fucking Danielson.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Everything will be good. Yeah. There's another part to this. You'll get to it later. Anyone that watched it yesterday, you already fucking know. But we'll talk about it more in a bit. For those that didn't. we'll spoil it for you. Long format.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get to that lovely
in advance.
Lovely gift to the gods. But I fucked up on the prediction for this one too, because honestly, with the way like they are billed and Statlander being the bigger star, I thought they were going to give her the rub. But no, they actually let Hirsch win. I initially was like, I'm going to pick Layla, and I was like, no, they won't let Layla win against Chris Statlander. And I just need to stop second guessing myself all the fucking time.
Right.
That's what this entire card was, is me second guessing.
Well, Statlander beat her the last time, so it was just like, if they're going to continue this feud, they need something, and they're trying like hell to make Layla look like a, she used the turnbuckle hook to hit her in the face, and try to get her over as a heel that way. But it's like, really, honestly, the rest of the match, she didn't look like she needed any of that.
No.
So, unless you can dumb her down a little bit, it's just not going to work. She's going to look like she can go toe-to-toe with Statlander no matter what. And that's just I'm like, even the turnbuckle thing just didn't put her over. Like, she's still not solid heelish enough.
Agreed. It's just, it's going to be one of those things. It's like, they'll figure it out.
She needs something. She needs something extra to get
What's her finisher is a submission in it.
Yeah, it's that arm bar.
Yeah.
Injure your opponent every match.
Yeah, fucking
Make
break
them tap, hold it until they're hurt, then leave.
Yep.
Well, I mean, look at Bryan Danielson right now. That's what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
He stomped a mud hole in the ass of every member of the Dark Order.
Oh yeah.
And we remember it. Yeah, quite literally.
And he called it. Every single one. He did it. He took the mic and then said, guess what? Next week, I'm going to do it again. And he did. Again and again and again.
Call your shots. That's all she needs to do. She doesn't need to talk a lot. Just have her be like, next week I'm breaking your fucking arm. Done. That's it. Yep. That's all she needs to do. Take a page out of the Danielson playbook and call it a day. After that, of course, the hot streak of Hook, it wasn't going to end. And it was going to end against QT.
I mean, first of all, I kind of feel bad for QT. Because
I do not at all.
I don't think he's a bad worker, but he's just like, I get so tired of seeing like his talent wasted. And
he has a lot of
doing. I think he's.
I still right now. It's like I don't get the whole Hook thing. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm a Taz fan, but I'm just not a Hook fan.
I am a huge Hook fan.
Are you really?
I am because
Grayson, no.
Because let me explain.
I just don't get it.
Explain.
Let me explain.
Him and his Muppet hair and his fucking he's just the baddest shit ever. I just don't see it.
This is why I love it. He is the character that I said a wrestling company needed 2 fucking years ago on this show. I said, you need a guy who does not say any fucking words, handles business, kid gives you a look, walks out. Next week, gives you a look, handle business, walks out. I fucking called this character, and for the fact someone did it, I'm there for life. As long as he never talks, and he does this every time, I'm there for life.
Yeah.
Corey's like,
I just can't. I mean, I don't hate Hook, but I don't get the over.
He's not fully sold on Hook yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I've not seen him tested yet. And to be quite honest, you can say whatever you want about QT Marshall. Had the longest and more versatile match with Hook since his fucking singles career started.
Yeah. And that's really what everything's been, is just, Hook is still a rookie. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So everyone's just been sort of the jobber who can sell his stuff, and then QT is sort of the first of the barriers. So QT, as you said, QT doesn't really get his just desserts. He's a good wrestler. But, QT's kind of stuck in that role. He's just a gatekeeper coach.
Yeah.
So that's why
the definition of enhancement talent. Not a jobber, He's a step up from that. He's true enhancement.
He did better as a babyface, for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
He became a heel. He became a nobody. He became a pushover. And I was just like, yeah, it's great you got your little faction. AEW's full of them. Mm-hmm. It's like they're faction city right now.
I don't mind a good faction, and I like the fact that there's plenty of them. But at the same time, QT's faction,
there's no real
as a heel group, its story's done. Yeah,
there's nothing to do there. They got all this talent and no way to push them.
And technically, with QT's group, their story finished without them having to do any work. They defeated the Nightmare Family via waiting them out. They let it implode on itself.
Time is the slowest and most insidious killer.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
He's like, I don't have to beat Cody. I just have to wait him out, and he'll beat himself. And honestly, that's usually the way it is with every one of his matches anyway. Because either he wins and he beats himself by the crowd going, oh, fuck that. Or he loses. It's one of the two. But QT wins, yay! I would like him to go back to being a babyface. He needs it, especially when it's him being a heel against Hook, who is also part of a heel faction. Hook doesn't have, as of right now, doesn't have a baby face bone in his body.
Mm-mm. He's like, it's the Steve Austin effect.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the cool heel shit. Like, nobody else in Team Taz is a cool heel. Even though I'm a Will Hobbs fan, I like.
Oh, I love Will Hobbs.
And we'll get to Will Hobbs in a minute when we get to that match. But
you don't think Ricky Starks is cool?
I like Ricky Starks.
Cool I like Ricky, but I don't like Ricky all the same.
I like Ricky, but I also think with Ricky the way he is, Ricky would be a wonderful manager.
He does definitely have that gift. Mm-hmm. But his in-ring skills are phenomenal too. He's definitely a different kind of heel right now, and it's kind of working for him now. The NWA stuff, it was a little odd for me, but when he got to AEW, he really kind of blossomed.
When he got rid of the actual dangly chains on the tights and made them printed on, that fixed most of it. Because when he was in NWA, they were legit dangly chains on his tights. I was like, what in the fuck is this shit?
I'm about to look this up. This is news to me. So
yeah, literally, go back and watch old episodes of NWA Power from like 2 years ago, and you'll see Ricky Starks and Eddie Kingston back then, and
Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette being the fucking one of the color commentary guys before he made the fried chicken joke, and
he got fucking fired quick.
Now, okay. Before we move on to the first match of before the next match, which I'm surprised wasn't on the main card, I was having a great time watching this pay-per-view up until next to last match, when I finally noticed that one motherfucker that I don't want to see at any goddamn pay-per-views right in the fucking front row on hard cam.
I was
Mr. Green Shirt.
God, I fucking hate Green Shirt.
God damn it!
He was. How did you miss him? He was right there the whole time.
I don't know how I didn't see it, but then as soon as I fucking saw his dumb green shirt, I was like, "What the fuck? You ruined everything! Go back to fucking WWE, you piece of shit!"
What? How does this guy get that same seat for every fucking show? What is the secret here? Like, what is his deal?
I don't know.
How about this? You get it, you come back, and then we'll figure out a way to sabotage it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder how...
We've been down this path about 6 episodes before.
I know.
We don't know. We don't know how he gets it. All we know is, God, fuck that guy. It's not even he's a bad person.
No.
It just makes it about him.
Yeah, it distracts me from the entire show. It took me out of it. I didn't notice him. For some reason, don't ask me how, but I didn't notice him for so long. I was enjoying myself. And as soon as I fucking saw him, I couldn't stop seeing him. And it fucked up everything. I mean, I still enjoyed the show, don't get me wrong, but it fucked it up because I couldn't, like, one eye was on the action, the other eye was on that motherfucker. It's like, what is he going to do now? Is he going to stand up so I see that stupid fucking smile? I want to punch him in his gut?
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Just want to shave off that shitty fucking goatee. Motherfucker. Save it off.
I love it.
They're fucking stupid. But, yes, House of Black versus Death Triangle.
With Eric Redbeard wearing a Gravedigger shirt. I was like, man, he always wears some kind of metal shirt. I'm always usually some sort of pagan metal.
I mean, my honestly, my favorite part about Death Triangle right now is the Wish Papa Emeritus Alex Abrahantes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, did you get your ghost frontman from Wish? There he is.
It's been great. It's been great to see because both sides have gotten really dark. And, you know, as a long-time metal fan, I always like to see this kind of shit.
I also enjoy the Penta Oscuro.
Oscuro, yeah.
Oh.
See, I do too, and Rachel's definitely on board with the Oscuro turn. My only gripe with his outfit is so stupid and so minor, but I mean, he's only done it twice now, I think, on AEW, but I can't not see it, is when he comes out and, you know, before the match, he has on those, like, old school floppy gauntlets.
Oh, yeah.
And when he drops the Zero Miedo, it doesn't actually, like, stick with his hand. So it's, you know, he's just got this, like, goofy floppy fucking glove while he's trying to do it, and it looks bad to me. Like, I can't not see it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. That's my only gripe. It's super minor and it's real dumb. But.
Yeah. Is Ruben sleeping in your lap? Because I hear him snoring.
Yeah, he's sleeping next to me.
I hear him snoring the whole time.
I might have to mute Jockey.
I heard you were explaining stuff, and every so often I was like, Ruben sound.
I'm gonna send you guys a picture so you can see what I'm dealing. This is also the same shit that happens when I'm working. Since I'm working from home now, is, you know, he flops right here and, you know, snores like all damn day.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's life.
I'm going to say, anybody else? I mean, like, I really wasn't seeing House of Black winning the match in the beginning. I thought they were going to push over Eric Redbeard, but at the same time, they still made Eric look strong. I mean, it took all three of them at one time to really take him out with the black.
It's amazing that they were able to bring someone in that was going to really give a size advantage over King.
Yeah.
And this is, I wasn't really familiar with Redbeard before this, you know, before they announced him on Rampage or whatever. But yeah, seeing him in the ring next to everybody else, holy shit, that is a large man.
Yeah, I mean, go back and look at him with Brody Lee back when he was still Luke Harper, and Redbeard was Eric Rowan as the Bludgeon Brothers.
All the Wyatt family stuff was
Jesus Christ. When you see them in their Bludgeon Brothers gear, carrying around those ludicrously large sledgehammers, you're like, what in the fuck are these giant, scary men?
Yeah.
They were enormous. Fucking enormous. And then go back to the Wyatt family when you had both of them plus Adam Shear together.
Yeah. When Adam didn't know nothing, he was green as goat shit, man. He was so green. Like that first Royal Rumble, like that wasn't the first time Brock Lesnar had problems with Braun Strowman. No. That first Royal Rumble they were together in, you could really tell Braun was green. He was so green. And you could see Brock get frustrated in the Rumble with him. And then, like, later on they had that match, and, you know, I don't know if, you know, I'm sure y'all have seen it where Braun hits him with that knee, and he didn't mean to hit him like he hit him, but Brock let him know really quick.
Yeah.
That, you know, you fucked up, buddy. You know. And, I mean, and he took it with stride back then. You know, he didn't say anything about getting hit that way.
No.
Because he knew he'd fucked up.
Yep.
You know. And that's what you do in wrestling. It's a lot of tit for tat shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With the person you're in there with, you know, if he gets a little stiff with something, it's okay to get a little stiff back. You know, they most of the time want that. You know, and but you know, you could tell what's malicious and what's not malicious.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing, really.
Mm-hmm. So, out of this match, what do you think the best spot was in it?
A lot to choose from, and that's the whole match. And it's silly, but it's like just seeing Eric and fucking Brody do the fucking shoulder blocks over and over again. It's like, really?
it has me thinking of nothing but fucking like Japanese strong style wrestling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's it.
The forearm throwing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's always very much a Japanese thing.
I'm a sucker for a good strong style standoff in the middle of the ring.
Well, you know, I'm an old school guy, and I much prefer, if it's going to be anything besides old school, I prefer strong style.
Mm-hmm.
It just, you know, I'm all for the more realistic looking stuff.
Yeah, that's you know, that's another reason why every time Minoru Suzuki shows up, I'm a happy camper.
Right. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's snug. It's going to be snug.
Oh yeah, it is. But yeah, it makes me sad. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this one. I just didn't have time to. Because this match, I expected it to be on the main card. With who's on it, I'm really surprised it wasn't. Because, I mean, hell, it was a better match than a couple of the ones on the main card.
It was solid. Was it Buddy Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's looking jacked as fuck, too.
Looking jacked as fuck. And, I mean, that whole group there is badass right now.
Yeah, they've got a good build going.
They got a great entrance. They got a great look. They got great work. You know, you can make solid fucking heels out of these guys, and I just don't see how you can't make money with them right now.
Now, I don't know how many of you are following the toy angle, but did you see the reveal of the AEW Supreme Collection Malachi Black figure?
No, I have not.
Oh. So the Supreme Collection, I mean, you've all seen the Unrivaled and Unmatched collection at stores. The Supreme Collection is their version of the Ultimates from the WWE figures.
Oh, nice.
The best part is you get a torso, but you get interchangeable lower bodies.
Nice.
So you get him with the debut, like, MMA trunks lower body, and then you get him with the classic tights lower body. You get all three of his different entrance vests, the short vest and then the raggedy-ass vest that he's been sporting since then. You get both of his bone masks. You get the one with the fucking goat antlers, and you get the one with the deer antlers with the danglies. Like 4 different heads and a bunch of hands.
Nice.
And all, like, accurate, updated tattoos and everything. It looks fucking great.
I'm a fan, for sure. You know,
I guarantee you it's going to be fucking expensive if you can even find it in stores, or they'll do some dumb shit where it's a ringside exclusive. You can only find them on ringside collectibles, and I'll be fucking pissed if that's the case. But, I mean, I'll probably have to get it.
Aleister Black's entrance live, and being such a fan, you know, I'm a black metal fan too, so when I hear his music, I'm just like, yes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Just to hear that on national television just kills me, because, you know, at one time you would never hear that.
Never, ever.
Television. So it's great when every time I see it, and his entrance is top notch, and their entrance together as a trio was awesome. Just really fucking loved it. And the match itself was, you know, like, it was pay-per-view worthy. I agree with you there, for sure.
If they put it on the pay-per-view, it would have been too stacked.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because the pay-per-view itself was pretty stacked.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of that, let's go ahead. We'll jump into the first one. I was very, very happy. Grayson texted me. He's like, He said he was pleased with the way the pay-per-view started off. And with the first match, I asked him what the first match was. I automatically knew why. Like, as soon as he said it, I was like, hell yeah, Kingston won. And I was like, fucking A.
And it was fucking clean.
Oh, yeah, it was.
That, first of all, Jericho has done nothing but be their top star and be the guy to put people over. Especially people who aren't quite at his level. And I'm not saying Kingston isn't work-wise. I'm just saying Kingston still isn't on the ass of what Chris Jericho has done as a...
Oh, no. That's not even like the point.
That shows that he's trying to help Eddie get put... I mean, the whole Orange Cassidy thing was such a joke for me.
Yeah.
I was just like, he tried, I mean...
Orange didn't need him to get over.
Orange is going to be over in a different way. He don't need Jericho to get over.
No.
Somebody like Kingston needs somebody like Jericho to get over. I mean, the story's not over yet, and they had a story-telling match. The whole match, they are, that's the old school way of telling a story with a wrestling match, and I was super happy with it. For sure. And that was a good way to start the pay-per-view off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will say that both of them trading licks pretty regularly was good. The chop-off, solid. It taking basically 3 fucking back fists and a submission from Kingston to put Jericho down.
I thought they were going to pull that out just a little longer for the actual tap.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, when he refused the handshake and everything, I'm like, yeah, this ain't over.
Yeah. When he welched on the deal, I was just like, it's going to keep going. And Kingston's character that he plays is so damn good at holding the fucking grudge.
Look at Kingston here lately. Everybody he's like going up against, he's losing to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He goes all out, but he ends up being the loser. And so you almost think he's going to lose again, and then Jericho's the one who takes the loss. And now we've put Eddie back into a different perspective.
Yeah.
For the fans. And Eddie's work is just amazing. I mean, I love his promo skills. He is a very decent fucking worker.
Yeah,
for sure. And but he just doesn't have the normal look or any kind of look.
It's like with a lot of people's problem with him. He looks fucking schlubby.
He looks like the guy who's there drinking Coors Light or whatever they're serving at the fucking venue.
Man, you hear that Reese's pie back
in the front row?
Let's go get one, Tony.
The front row, but the back row as well. You know what I mean? He looks like John Every guy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
that's the problem. And I get it to an extent. I was a wrestler who used like the shorts and the cut off shirt and shit like that. But I had a kind of a biker gimmick going. Raven helped me kind of get away with that.
Yeah, Raven was a godsend for anyone that didn't want to wear wrestling tights.
Exactly. It just is what it is.
So, I don't know how my take on this goes, but like I've got a weird opinion of Eddie.
Okay.
Like I like him. Let me start like that. I do like him. I like his promos a lot. Yep. I like the fact that he does have that like just John Q. Public look.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I mean it's funny. Like the food thing's hilarious to me. That promo like for Thanksgiving where he's like, I'm gonna eat this cake. like that, to me that's the funniest shit. I love that. But I mean like he's all right in the ring, but I don't see him being like a main eventer ever. I mean, like him beating Jericho is a big deal for his character, but I still don't I don't see that being enough to be like, woo, you're in the big time now. You're gonna be headlining shows and shit.
He's always gonna have that cursed king of the indies. Hey, there's so many people. I mean, even CM Punk had that at one time. He's king of the indies, but look at where he's at now. So many people used it in such a negative way towards people, and it's like, look, that just means the pure wrestling fan respects them.
Exactly.
And it's not about the whole like, have you reached the WWE status where you're like the John Cena or the whoever that's in that position, the Roman Reigns or yada, yada, yada. So, I don't know. It's such a fickle fucking business.
Yeah. It really is. Now, Kingston, I could see them giving him a push. Will he ever hold the belt? No, but I think he could compete for it. I think he's going to be a strong...
Be the ECW champion.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston can be.
He's a Sandman.
I want to say this, not work-wise, just aesthetically, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. He has the look of a Sandman, but the work of someone that can actually wrestle.
Actual in-ring work is sloppy as fuck. And I could say one thing about Eddie Kingston, he is not sloppy. Even though you're probably not going to like this, I don't like the machine gun chops in the corner. I think it looks...
Let's put it this way. Machine gun chops would work if when you were chopping fast, it actually looked like you were hitting them hard. Like him and... I always forget the name of the dude in New Japan that does them. Like, when he's doing them, it's like towards the end, when you start going so fast, like, there's no power behind it. It's just, you're just, like, making the noise. It's there for, like, aesthetically, it looks cool, but it's not a good move. No.
That's not one of my favorites.
No, it's not one of mine either. With Eddie...
And I'm just like, oh, there's no way. It's just so unrealistic when he does it. It doesn't come off authentic whatsoever.
No, but I mean, all things considered, I did not, two things to say. One, I did not expect Kingston to win with a submission. It was a neat looking submission, but looking at it at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I haven't seen anyone pull that one in a hot fucking minute. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how you got the fucking win with that submission.
Right. Like, what the fuck was that?
The stretch plum. That's what it was. But the best thing, and Grayson, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was a fun little thing that popped up on Twitter. Kingston commented, he's like, I don't fucking like the guy, but hell yeah, I love AFI, because he commented on Punk's entrance. And Punk's like, man, for someone that wins, they usually go to Disneyland, but I guess you didn't know since it's your first time.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, he got him pretty good.
I was just like, oh, shit, that's a good one. For someone who wins a big match, they usually go to Disneyland, but I guess you didn't know that since it's your first time.
Wow.
But the Jericho and Kingston, I mean, Jericho did what he do. It's always Jericho. The one thing, I just keep wondering, and this is one of those things where it's just like, I know, just having seen it before with Scott Steiner and his workout stuff, what did Jericho do to blow out his pecs? Like, they're blown out.
Just besides getting old, I mean,
look at fucking Billy Gunn's the same age, if not older, than Jericho.
Aaron's got he's got some of that stem cells going on in that motherfucker.
I don't know what in the hell it is, but like with Jericho, it looks like it's the same issue that Big Papa Pump had, where like I was reading something in some workout magazine where it's like they're doing this one exercise the wrong way too much, and it's actually tearing the pectoral muscles apart. Like where you see that division right there above the sternum, where it's getting way too fucking wide, and then they just start to do this weird deflation thing. I don't know what it is. It's the only thing that irks me, and it's I don't know why. It's just
I'm the same with Kofi Kingston. I think
in the best shape he's been in a while.
Yeah, for sure. He's starting to lean back out.
He had gained a little bit of weight there, and now he looks pretty decent again.
Yeah.
For his age, especially.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's in great shape for his age. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I know this isn't just an age thing. If it is, I'm surprised because I've not seen such things happen. I've seen other people that are in his same age range that still, look fairly jacked. Billy Gunn, not the best example because he's
Gunn is eternal, apparently. He's actually eternal from Marvel, I think.
Yeah, he's jacked as fuck and forever will be. His corpse will somehow manage to bench press the lid open of his casket when they bury him. I don't know how he'll do it, but it'll just happen.
He has definitely defied time quite a bit. It's insane.
His corpse is going to kick out when they, throw the first 3 shovelfuls of dirt on.
Yeah.
His arm's going to pop up and knock the lid up.
Finishes here.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, next. Now, I was talking about this before the show. It happens to me every rare once in a while with pay-per-views and things. Really, really bad with Cody matches, but sometimes, I have to watch these things after work or at weird times. And so, every once in a while, if a match doesn't have me 100% engaged, it'll put me to sleep. And surprisingly enough, that's what happened with the triple tag match. I dozed off about 3/4 of the way through and missed the finish and had to back it up like 3 or 4 minutes and see the finish. But he's just, I don't know. I was invested, but also not invested in this match at the same time. It was a strange thing.
Well, I think no one thought anybody else was going to win but Jurassic Express, so you already felt like you knew the ending of the match because they're not going to take it off them right yet.
I feel like it would have been a better story moment to take it off of them and put it on Red Dragon. You could make, especially if it was a dirty win.
I just think I feel
it's
that
too soon.
Just because of my personal feelings for Red Dragon.
Yeah.
And not what I think is right for right now. I think in an AEW audience, they really need to build up their credibility a bit more than Jurassic Express does. Mm-hmm. So, I know them from Ring of Honor and NXT before this, and now they're here in AEW, and I think they'll be hopefully properly utilized, both guys, because I'm definitely a fan of their work. But I want them to win just for personal reasons. But
yeah,
I think they're not going to put them back on the Bucks right yet.
Mm-mm.
Because the Bucks know that's not the right thing to do, is to put it back on them. And we need to build Red Dragon up more for the AEW audience, not just for the wrestling people who know who the fuck they are.
Yeah,
and they're getting another look on television this way, and we can build this story and build this story and build this story because them and the Bucks are going to blow up eventually. It's coming.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be about the title; it's going to be about them.
Mm-hmm.
So then the title will be in the picture after whatever blows up after this, whatever the blow off is.
Yep. So
let's get Red Dragon super established first, and then get them in a match with fucking Jurassic Express and have a fucking great match, and put it on somebody who even though they're heels right now, they're one of those two. It's like they have that ability that Layla Hirsch doesn't. Going back to that, she's got all they're just like her. They have all the bells and whistles in the right places. But they have charisma in different places that she does not. And they can
where one lacks a certain thing, the other one has it.
Yeah, they can pull off being assholes more than she can. She doesn't seem like an asshole. No. I don't believe her when she's an asshole. So I need to believe her more. I believe that she's a badass.
Yeah.
Hands down. But an asshole is a whole nother spectrum. And both Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly can pull off being fucking assholes.
Oh, all day long. They're great.
It is coming, and they deserve it. I definitely can't wait to see them as AEW Tag Team Champions.
It's going to happen sooner rather than later. I have the sneaking suspicion they will be the ones to dethrone Jurassic Express because they are the hot tag team right now, and it's going to make more sense for them to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's going to seem like more of a slight towards the Young Bucks and it's going to set up a whole lot of feuds moving forward. Moving forward.
But we're going to have to see them in better fucking matches.
What I want to see happen, now this is moving forward because, you know, we can go back to talking about the match at hand. We don't have to go through it spot by spot, but
it was beautiful. I mean, it was great. It really was.
I mean, yeah, it was good. It's just, I honestly...
It happened to you, but even for a high spot match like it was, there was some really cool transitions and some storytelling. So I'm a storyteller guy. So if they're really telling the story, I'm in.
Yeah.
Even if it's a high spot fest, you know, or what we call like 101 Dalmatian spot. You know, it's just spot.
It gets like that sometimes. But with them, and this is what I'm thinking. I would like to see it. Them and FTR start a feud for those belts again.
I agree. I'm always down for FTR. I was kind of hoping FTR would win, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And that's who I think, really pulling for. Was
FTR's title reign was far too short.
Well, I mean, you know, are they still the AAA champions, or did they lose that already? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Because they were the AAA champions, and that worked when the Lucha Brothers were the tag champions of AEW, and that whole kind of feud that just seemed really cool.
Yeah, I think what it is after they dropped the belts. Mostly, I think they dropped the belts due to injury, as opposed to really needing to drop the belts.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I think they just dropped off that storyline just because it wouldn't make sense anymore.
Of course.
But yeah, like I said, this match is pretty good. Like I said before, I had to preface it because it wasn't a matter of whether the match was bad or not. I dozed off.
Right. Shit happens.
Yeah, it happens to me sometimes. It's not like a Cody match where it gets so predictable. I'm like, okay, I can take a sleep. I can take a nap during this one and know what's going to happen. It sounds like I dog Cody all the time, but it didn't used to be like this. But towards the end there, his matches were real cookie cutter.
Well, you know, once he became Homelander from The Boys and thought he was like, you know, the most sympathetic babyface ever, it just wasn't believable. Just make him what he is and treat him like he is, and it works so much better.
Yep.
And, you know, it's like, look, you're not Mr. All-American. We don't believe that.
No.
You know,
you need to be a heel because you're
at least just a taste of Bullet Club, Cody. Just a taste.
Why you have the name the American Nightmare.
Exactly. And, well, I mean, there for a while he was taking his dad's name as American Dream.
Well, he only did that for that one match.
I hated that.
I did too. I didn't like that.
I did not like that whatsoever. I was like, you are what you are. And be that. You know, ride that to the fucking end. You know, it makes sense that your dad was the American Dream and that you're the American Nightmare. Fucking ride that fucking thing for all it's worth. And, you know, it just didn't make sense there for a while, the whole Nightmare family and baby faces. And it just isn't. It sucked. It just sucked. And nothing against the talent and the people who were involved, but it wasn't important.
Yeah.
No one cared. And there was so much talent and no one cared. Same thing for QT Marshall's group. It's like all that talent and no one cares.
No. Grayson, what do you think about it? I haven't heard out of you a minute.
I mean, you guys are just running train right now. So
I know.
I just hang out, you know. Corey and me over here off to the side, just like, you know what? It's all good. So that leads me to where I'm at. You guys have been rambling for about 20 minutes. I have lost track of where we're at.
Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks.
Spot Fest, fantastic. Yeah. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were guaranteed winners when it became a Young Bucks Red Dragon triple threat because we knew they were going to shaft each other at some point to where Jurassic Express could take it. And then on top of that, I feel like they finally did Jurassic Express justice for being tag champions with the performance they were given. it was just a money match. Like, they did so well. Everyone played their part to a T. And, Red Dragon's fucking tits. And I can't wait for them to be champions because Kingfish is the best fish.
You are correct.
But, I mean, ultimately, after everything you guys have been saying, that's, it's pretty much dead on, except for the Cody stuff. The Cody stuff, I didn't really pay attention. You started talking about Cody, and it was Will talking about Cody, so I already knew where it was going. So I just blanked out, and that's why I kind of lost where we were at.
It's true. There's a few things that come up pretty regularly that you pretty much know what's going to happen. Unless
Cody Rhodes attacks a chef in Spain, the Homelander reference is pretty much where I stop.
Yes.
If anyone gets that hot goss I just dropped right there.
I do.
Get on Google and look up Homelander Spain.
I got it. Oh, that dude's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But
you know who I am? Obviously not. They're in fucking Spain.
All right, Commish, what do you think?
I don't know. Because I thought, I'm thinking back to your talking about, like, the storytelling and, like, setting up more of the feud between, the Bucks and Red Dragon. And I was kind of confused, because I found myself, like, trying to remember back over the weeks, over, like, what everything, what all has transpired between, the Bucks and Red Dragon, Adam Cole in the middle and all that crap. And I couldn't remember, and this is just me, I guess, becoming an old man and forgetting shit. I was trying to remember, like, what agreement they had come up with during that tag match, and the way that they kept, like, arguing back and forth. I'm trying to make it seem like, we'll figure out a way to, like, split the title. We're going to work together. But, like, by the very nature of how that match was set up and how the rules were, it just didn't make sense from the get-go. So, like, I appreciate what they were trying to do, but I think the match format didn't really serve it as well as it could have. Mm-hmm. But that aside, I mean, again, that's kind of a minor gripe. The match itself was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. But then again, I'm always going to enjoy pretty much any time the Young Bucks show up because I'm a sucker for their nonsense. And, and to your, I know this is like the exact same conversation we had last time I was on. But to your point, where you're talking about Red Dragon trying to build them up for newer audiences, see, I'm kind of in that boat because I don't really have any historical attachment to them. I enjoyed Bobby Fish when they brought him on, doing singles and just kind of attaching him to, the elite. Like, oh, he's cool. And then, I was there the night that the Kyle O'Reilly debuted, and I was like, okay, sure, that whatever. I guess this is cool. People are excited.
Everyone on the show right now, except for Grayson, was there.
That's true.
Way to just like throw me under the bus, dude. Might as well go ahead and put the bitch in reverse, too. See if I come back.
Never again.
I've been gone for 3 months. I can go another 3.
I'll save reverse for later. Don't worry.
Yeah, but the point being is, the more that I actually like see him in the ring and stuff, they're definitely like it. I've always been concerned because I do like the Young Bucks, and I'm like, oh shit, this isn't good for them. Red Dragon's gonna just kind of overshadow them, but they're growing on me. I do like them a lot. So I've been pleased with most of their matches so far. But kind of like you guys, I didn't really see any titles changing hands in that one. So
right, yeah,
no big surprise there. But it was a good match. I liked watching it. It was fun.
It's just not ready yet. They're building it maybe later in the year for sure.
Now, I agree. It's definitely going to be a later in the year thing for them. But moving forward, this next match, apparently, it just didn't rate very high with a lot of the places. But I honestly thought the Face of the Revolution ladder match was actually pretty good. It had a few small issues with people just hanging around outside the ring so everyone could have one-on-one spot moments.
Right.
And that irks me in a lot of these matches. I'm like, no, don't do that. Everyone needs to be doing shit, not just, time killers on the floor.
I think the match really utilized the big guys like they should have been utilized, which worked. Yeah. Like Keith Lee and Wardlow and Will Hobbs. Like that whole ladder moment with Orange Cassidy where he got up on top of the ladder and he almost reached the ring.
Yeah.
Which, that was a cool little spot.
No, the best,
and it looked fun.
Mm-hmm. The best Orange Cassidy moment from that match was him climbing all of them like they were a ladder.
Oh yeah, and almost getting there.
Yeah.
See, and on that point, one thing I'll say is I'm glad that they threw in some fun comedy elements for him, but didn't reuse the one that he did in the last two, like grab the thing matches they had with him, where he just stood in the middle of the ring and like reached up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, that's funny. Like I like that, and it's funny. But I was like, okay, are they gonna do it a third time in a row? Is that where we're going? But no, it was still really funny without having to go back to the old gimmick. So
they definitely did that gimmick justice in that match. That was even I found entertaining because on here I've not been the biggest Orange Cassidy fan.
They're slowly finding a good balance between his laissez-faire attitude and actually working.
Exactly,
and it's nice. They're evolving the character from being too goofy, and it's starting to become slightly believable now.
You just can't put him in a big picture situation without doing that. I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said pre-show, for some fucking reason, I was just like, I chose Keith Lee, even though, like, back in my mind, I was like, God damn it, I fucked up. I know it's going to be Wardlow. And sure enough, it was fucking Wardlow that did it. They, like you were saying, they did a great job making the big men do what they needed to do. Now, initially, I was hoping for an all big guy match, but in retrospect, I'm glad they stopped with 3 and then they put the average size dudes in other than that.
Well, honestly, Wardlow is the only one out of all the big guys that has had a kind of a pretty noticeable storyline going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be the one to go with. Keith Lee's a big surprise, and I think a lot of people would be like, oh man, he just came from WWE, so it's a good way to swerve people.
Mm-hmm.
Think that Keith's going to take it. And he would be one I would want as well.
Yeah.
He would be the one I would pick. But, on the outside looking in, it's just a good way. Like, because Wardlow, they've really been pushing this whole Powerbomb Symphony bullshit for the last couple months. It's finally, put him over in a certain light. And
the promo where Spears was like, it's not getting over, buddy. I was just like, that makes it even better.
That was good.
I feel sorry for Spears. Because I think he's one of the most talented fuckers they got.
Yeah.
And he gets that match with CM Punk. I get it. I get why they did it. But just the fact that it was Sean Spears and he had to go out in like a New York minute, basically.
Yeah.
I was not happy with. I was like, man, that makes him look like shit. And he deserves better than that.
And Grayson remembers us talking about this way back. I mean, with Sean Spears, the whole reason he's doing all this stuff, it seems like harkens back to when they first started the company. He's like, I've got my own fucking schedule. I get to choose what I want to do. So I don't give a shit. I'm having a great time because do I want to do this right now? Nope. I'm going to stay at home. And
exactly.
That's he's living his best fucking life and having a blast. I mean, from a performer standpoint, do I want to see Sean Spears do more and get some good rub? Hell yeah, dude.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, dude, you do you. It's still enjoyable. Enjoy. Live your life. Have fun.
His own wife made a tweet about it.
Yeah.
Like that's just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't deserve to be treated that way on television. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to go under to CM Punk, by no means.
Yeah.
But I just think he deserved better than the jobber shit he was served on the platter.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where you should and shouldn't do the super job, and that was one of those times where, like, he really needed to be in it for a little bit longer than, like, snap of fingers, the match is over. This match right here, really, I think, is the impetus and the setup for Wardlow's finally divorcing himself from MJF.
Oh, and I know we're going to get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely get to that.
That's definitely going to be a match I'm definitely going to delve into, for sure.
I will say, go ahead and have Wardlow and other big dudes rip ladders in half more often. I'm for it.
That was what a great spot. I laughed so hard when I saw that spot. I thought it was hilarious.
It was a goddamn wishbone.
That's my kind of comedy wrestling right there.
I know. They tore that fucker in half like a wishbone. I was like, that's...
I like Will Hobbs, man, and I hope he never hears this. But my only problem with Will Hobbs is his voice. He doesn't sound as badass as he looks. And I mean,
well, thank you.
And no offense, neither does Mike Tyson, who was one of the baddest men who ever walked the planet. You know what I mean? But he didn't sound that way, but he didn't have to. Yeah. And Will Hobbs has that same shit. Like, Will is so intimidating looking, and he has such a good look, and he's athletic, and he can have some decent matches with people. Like, I've never, I've never hated on Will Hobbs. I think he's a very talented big guy in this business right now.
Yeah. And Corey, you were about to say?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it kind of gets to what, totally different topic, but it gets back to what you were talking about earlier with like Ricky Starks being a decent manager. I think that's why they've got, I mean, aside from the fact that they're on the same team, but a lot of times now, they've got Will Hobbs coming out as kind of the backup for Ricky Starks, and Starks is doing all the talking, and it works great. It works great. He's just a big brooding guy in the back. He's huge. He'll rip you in half just like the ladder, and he doesn't have to say anything, and it works great. So.
I mean, speak softly, carry a big stick. That's kind of the Will Hobbs way right now.
Well, Kevin Nash did that for how long till he actually wrestled in WWF?
A long fucking time.
I mean, some of us remember when he was Vinny Vegas and Oz and all those WCW.
Oh, boy.
But when he actually wrestled in WWF, it was forever because he was Shawn Michaels' bodyguard. And, you just saw him do certain shit for the longest time. And, Will could have pulled that off, too. They could have pulled that off for a long time. Just to let him like an equalizer, so to speak, until they actually build him up to fucking wrestle his first match. Because he would have probably looked like an even bigger monster then. Because he's a bad dude. I'm a big Will Hobbs fan.
Undoubtedly, he is a bad motherfucker. It's one of the better times that they've used the ladders. I still don't think many of the ladder matches are, as good as the ones in the early days of ladder matches. But I think they're slowly kind of starting to figure their shit out again. I don't need 900 fucking ladders. I will go ahead and say that. 2 or 3 tops. If you want one breakaway ladder, like we mentioned before, that's cool.
Well,
but
the only ladder match I've ever went crazy for outside of WWE back in the day is Kevin Owens versus El Generico at Ring of Honor. Was one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen back in the day. And I've not seen one until this one that was even as interesting.
I'll have to look that one up because that's one of those, like I said before the show, there's a lot of Ring of Honor that I know about, and there's a whole lot more that I don't. I know El Generico.
Well, I mean, it was, Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
I
mean, Kill Steen Kill. So much better than Fight Owens Fight.
I was definitely a fan of his Ring of Honor stuff, man, for sure. Anyways, where did we get to?
I think we were about to transition over to Mortal Kombat.
Jade,
saying the most Mortal Kombat image was the Kingston Jericho versus picture.
yes, it was.
It was extreme Mortal Kombat 3 Sega Genesis level.
I totally agree with that.
But Jade's Jade costume, though.
First of all,
it was a good costume.
Kudos.
Great costume, and Jade's performance was great too. I mean,
this is one of the best Jade matches there's been.
Yes, I will totally agree because of all the other times I've been on here, I've been a little critical of Jade, and not in a negative way, just in a way that she's still green. and she's only as good as whoever they put her in the ring with.
Yeah.
And Ty Conti is. I like Ty a lot. I've always liked her matches, and her and Jade had one of the better matches that I've ever seen Jade been a part of.
It's one of the better Ty Conti matches too. In all honesty,
he was all out for this shit, and still put Jade over like the beast she is in the end.
Oh yeah,
and and nothing, and Ty didn't come out of that looking weak either.
No, they left it all in the ring. They really did.
Exactly. So it was one of those styles of matches, and it was probably definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. I was very impressed with Jade. Because Jade, you could tell Jade's learned a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean we've all been hearing about it too. Because I mean, she's been apparently training with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's been her coach, or Bryan Danielson rather, has been her coach as of late.
Fucking better right now.
Yeah, that's been her coach behind the scenes, and
we all said this a long time ago. Even as green as she was, we knew how athletic she was.
Yeah.
And she has the right career. I mean, of course, they got smart Mark Sterling with her for a lot of little things, but she can get those one-liners down really good.
Oh, yeah.
And her look and her in-ring ability right now, I mean, I don't think she's ready to take over a match and be a ring general yet, but she has definitely she's getting there. She's definitely getting there. And this match definitely showed how much evolved she's been since her basically inception into the AEW.
Agreed. She's finally earning her spot in my opinion. Her
stripes, everything.
It's not the one where like at first she was just given that because of a look. Period.
Well, the title was there to help put her over because they knew, and she's just one of those people who's picking up on it. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody can pick up on it as quick.
Yeah.
And, only certain people, like Kurt Angle, for Christ's sakes, no one thought Kurt Angle would pick up on it as quick as he did. And he picked up on it so quick and took to it like a fish out of water. Jade, I think, is in that same boat where she's picking up on it quicker than most people would in her position.
She may be a savant. You never know.
We'll see. We'll definitely see coming, forward from this match because this match was definitely a testament in her career so far.
Yeah, I mean, they both Ty Conti didn't really get out of her comfort zone, but she was able to wrestle more full match as opposed to just cater to Jade's strengths.
Agreed.
They were able to branch out a bit more.
She was the type of opponent who could push Jade and could take Jade out of Jade's comfort zone.
And honestly, the best part was how much shit talk about the air quotes karate shit there was at beforehand and during.
I'll say this though, and Rachel made this comment, and I don't think she's necessarily wrong. Is like with her coming out in the Mortal Kombat outfit and doing like the stereotypical karate shit poses, comes off like maybe a little racist.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like I definitely thought the same thing.
Oh my god!
They could have done like one or the other, but the two together kind of make it a little like it's funny, but it's right on that line, But I don't know. It was still a lot of fun. I'm with you. It was funny that they did it. The one question though that I have coming out of this match with Jade is, I agree with everything you're saying. It was a good match for her, especially since I feel like, they are finally getting away from some of this just constant squash matches for Jade. But she still has not really been like challenged. You know what I mean? Like even with Ty, Ty was, she did all right, but I still didn't feel like there was ever a point where it's like, oh shit, Jade might lose this.
Well, it's not until she fights a beast, and we haven't got a beast yet.
Well, and that's my question: is the way that they're still building Jade up so much. What would it take for her to lose. Like, who are they waiting for to show up to beat her? Because, I mean...
Nyla Rose, if they fucking book Nyla right, Nyla Rose, man. I mean, how can you not make a beast out of Nyla Rose right now?
But that's like it, though. You know, like, show me anyone else on the current roster that even has, like, a realistic shot.
Awesome Kong or Kong, you know? When they had Awesome Kong for just a short little while, that worked for Brandy. Like, that helped Brandy look good as a heel at that time. Because without, like, who all was part of that group? It was her, Awesome Kong, and was a third girl who was part of it.
Brandy's group?
It was the bald chick. I forgot her name.
No, there was Aja Kong.
No, Aja Kong was not in the Nightmare Collective or whatever.
Heel group there.
Shit. The one that was extra crazy, right?
Yeah. What was her name? Why can't I think who it was?
I can't think of it either. That honestly goes to show the state.
And now we're going to look horrible. Anybody who's a super hardcore wrestling fan.
No one. No. No, they're going to be like, damn, I don't remember either. Because that's how over.
That was the only time I ever felt Brandy. She looked good. She looked good as a heel, but it was because of the company she kept.
It was Mel.
Oh, shit. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Because it was Mel, Awesome Kong, Brandy Rhodes, and Luther.
Yeah, Luther came in later.
Yes, at the end. Fuck, I remember that now. That's how they introduced Luther.
Yep.
And then they just dropped the gimmick altogether because I think Awesome Kong had to go film stuff for the Glow.
Yeah, she went and filmed Glow.
I hate it because Awesome Kong, I don't, besides whatever goes on internally within the business, I don't know. But she's so marketable as a beast of a woman.
But
the minute she come in TNA, it was like, who the fuck is going to fuck with Awesome Kong? And then she got to WWE, and then she did the Royal Rumble, and then she got pregnant and had to fucking quit. It was like, what bad luck. I mean, not that she got pregnant, but just bad luck for her wrestling, because she couldn't do what the WWE expected for her when she's pregnant. You just can't. And then I don't know what happened after that, why she didn't get to come back. I really don't know, because I would have loved to see her come back, because I was like, how could they not make money with her?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, I think they wanted to bring her back, but she was doing more TV stuff, and then when she finally did come back, she came back on Impact, and she did her retirement.
And she, honestly...
she did that at the NWA show, rather.
She already did Japan, so it's like, maybe her bump card was full. Because, even for a big girl like her, she was a beast, man, and she did beastly things. And I always enjoyed her matches back in the day. But hey, I don't blame anybody for trying to find another gig that they can actually do and have the charisma for. Because I've only really seen the first season of Glow, but she didn't do half bad, I didn't think.
Hey, I've heard nothing but good things. Now, we've talked about how good, it was to see Jade wrestle a real wrestling match.
Yes.
Last thing I want to say is also, I found Ty Conti's face paint this time to be good. It wasn't bad like the last time she did face paint.
It did look a little more tribal than it.
It was much better. She'll get a chef kiss for that one. It was much better. But let's go to what everyone, honestly, on the planet who was looking forward to this pay-per-view was looking forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. This right here was the match of the show. I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't quite a few people who were like, well, saw this, and then they turned it off. I really wouldn't be surprised. The dog collar match. Punk and MJF.
So, just right off the bat, man, I was just sold on it. Like, not, and this isn't even including just how they sold me on it leading up to it. Every fucking promo, every fucking picture, every dirty trick, every crossover they did to each other, and then cap it off with a fucking like bloody mess on Dynamite right before the event, and then it comes in. And you don't really hear Cult of Personality. Hear motherfucking AFI.
Yep. I popped like a motherfucker because
I did too.
I hadn't bought an actual pay-per-view. I've always watched it at somebody's house, so this was like for my birthday, because my birthday's Wednesday. It was like, fuck, I'm gonna buy the pay-per-view for my birthday, because I felt like the card was stacked. And when I heard CM Punk come out to AFI and it was like Ring of Honor all over again, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, dude, I heard that music. I popped so hard, I was like, oh shit, AFI. It's Rhea Qatar. It's going down. And then he comes out. And he's got his fucking white fucking gym shorts. I'm like, this motherfucker has the gym shorts. And then he has the fucking black tracksuit jacket. I'm like, he's got the black track jacket. It had the XXX over the back. It had the X on the fucking shorts, and then he had Larry. He had a little change to it with the Larry crossbones. It was so great. And he comes out.
It's not also it's a throwback, but it's also like wearing that white gear when you bleed. It's just going to show up so much better in the match.
Oh yeah.
And it's a throwback to, I think, that was what he wore in another dog collar match.
With Raven. We talked about that off air with Will.
Okay.
Because I was like, that was how I knew who CM Punk was.
Yeah.
Was because of the feud with Raven. And I was such a Raven mark for years that's how I come to find out who CM Punk was. And I'm talking like, it was like 2000, 2001, something like that. It was early.
Yeah.
His tits.
Oh, it was so good. I popped when I was like, oh shit.
As soon as I heard it, I knew exactly. I was like, oh, this is bad.
As soon as he came out in the shorts, I was like, fucking A, he's in the shorts. Yes.
So old school.
They debuted his figure this weekend at FanFest as well. And I have one in the works. I still need to get the decals from my buddy, but I have one in the works that has an alternating lower waist. It was going to be the first. It was basically the all-in gear or all-out gear, and then the next pay-per-view where he switched over to the trunks with the same colorway. But that's what both of the figures they're putting out are. And so I was like, well, fuck, that pretty much kills those Project Dead in the water. He comes out in the white shorts. I was like, there we go. Done. All I got to do is sculpt some fucking shorts on it and call it a day. Problem solved.
You know what was also great was I texted Commissioner as soon as CM Punk was, because I was like, oh my god. Ring of Honor CM Punk, gym shorts and AFI entrance.
I texted
you. Corey's answer was exactly what I expected. Yeah, I was totally lost.
We were actually talking about this.
Right after I texted you, I was like, fuck yes, this entrance. And you were like, the CM Punk one? I was like, yeah, dude. And then you sent me the picture of the Corey screen cap, and I was like, this tracks.
Well, okay. So what makes it even worse, right? Because, Grayson, we were actually talking about this before we started recording, before you hopped on. I was telling them how you texted me, because you're actually watching live this time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Before he came out, I was actually going to, go get a drink from the fridge, use the bathroom or something, I don't remember. It's like, okay, I've heard Cult of Personality so many times. And then it wasn't, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And, I'm scratching my head, and I'm looking at Rachel, and we're like, what's going on? And then I'm actually standing in the living room because I stopped because I'm like, what's happening? I don't get it. And you texted me while I'm standing there, all caps, all excited. I'm like, there it is. Somebody knows what's going on.
Oh man, it's like it didn't even take 2 fucking seconds for those riffs to hit before I was like, holy shit, AMI!
Yeah. No.
Diving into the match itself.
Yeah.
The big complaint that I heard online, which I do not share. So many people online, apparently, AEW fans, etc., were saying it was too bloody.
Go fuck yourself.
Where in the fuck did they get it? It was the right amount of bloody for a dog collar match.
I agree.
If you're calling it too bloody, I mean, did you go back? Did you watch the fucking Battle of the Brothers from the very first, like, AEW Summer pay-per-view?
Well, shit, did you watch Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine?
No shit. Go back and watch Starrcade 83. Well, fucking educate yourself. Goddamn, Abdullah the Butcher had a match, and you're calling this bloody?
I mean, look at just CM Punk and Raven.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at ECW's whole entire catalog.
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes. That's such a ridiculous statement to a bunch of people who are uneducated and doesn't know where pro wrestling comes from.
I mean, it did the right amount. I think the blood was not done the wrong way.
Excessive.
It came out correctly via like chain hits, etc. It didn't look like obvious plants blading anywhere.
Right.
Because a lot of the matches that AEW has, there are some pretty obvious blade plants. I mean, one of the most notorious one was the Christopher Daniels one against the Young Bucks, where you legit saw the blade laying in the ring because he didn't get rid of it well.
That's the worst. It tends to be as someone who's been in that situation, you either have to hand it off to the ref or you've got to hide it yourself,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not as easy as you think.
Nah. Looking at it, it's just like, hey, shit like that happens. But, I mean, this one, they did it well. They told one of the better dog collar match stories I've seen in a while. It was really solid. They beat the ever-living shit out of each other. And like we said before we got started, there was only one part of this whole match that was not fucking needed. Grayson, can you guess what it is?
Alright, so for me, it was honestly the Wardlow.
Really?
No, I was okay with that.
I was okay with it, but I don't know.
There wasn't something stickier that stuck to you that you thought they didn't need?
Sounds like someone took a shit. I'm probably missing it completely.
I guarantee you get your thumb on it here pretty soon. If it weren't a black bag, it'd probably be in a Crown Royal bag.
The thumbtacks?
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, okay.
Why did they need thumbtacks in a dog collar match? It was the dumbest that was like, first of all, you have one gimmick. You have one solid gimmick to work in this match. And you literally can use the chain as a weapon the whole match. And you choose thumbtacks. And don't get me wrong, MJF sold them thumbtacks great. He did a great job selling the thumbtacks. The thumbtacks were just not needed to get the match over.
And Grayson, you were about to say?
No, I think that was probably it.
You hit the nail on the head. You just kind of forgot about it. You mentally erased the thumbtack bag.
It was my biggest pet peeve in the whole match. I thought the match was brilliant because I thought they worked it right. They knew how to tell a story. MJF is really the best heel that there is right now.
Yeah.
He's the only believable heel that I've seen in a long time.
I will say him and the one coming up with the next match. But I will say this. After MJF's fucking crazy-ass story a couple weeks ago, I guarantee you this storyline is going to go down as story of the year when they do the awards at the end of the year.
Well, I'm going to tell you how good MJF's promo is. It almost made a switch where CM Punk was going to be the
villain. Yeah. It was that kind of good.
It was that good that you felt some kind of empathy for MJF that you never have felt before. No one's ever felt any kind of empathy for that piece of shit.
He's a massive douche, and all of a sudden you felt bad for him. You're like,
shows exactly that he knows exactly how to cut a promo right. He knows exactly how to get heat. He knows exactly what to say.
When he breaks away from his usual formula, he's fucking gold.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand. Even though we know it's his usual formula, but his usual formula is enough just to pop the fucking crowd just right.
Yeah.
And do what he needs to do. I mean, he could do more. He knows how to do more. Obviously, we just seen it. You know, I mean, this dog collar match was great. My only gripe was the actual thumbtacks. That was it.
That's it.
Honestly, the rest of the match, I was happy with. Mm-hmm. I liked the right amount of blood. I thought it was just brutal enough. It's not easy to work with a dog collar. Yeah. And the chain. It really isn't. You get really restricted very easily, so it is not easy to craft just the right match when you have a dog collar and the chain on.
And honestly, this, like I mentioned it, hinted at it before, this right here is the big setup for Wardlow probably splitting away pretty soon. It was the perfect
there. I mean,
it was the perfect setup for like the slap in the face on either Wednesday or Friday night, I forget which right now. It was the perfect thing. He's like, oh, you slap me and act like a dick. Well, guess what? Oh, no, I can't find the ring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's blatantly obvious he's not going to be part of this anymore.
He's over enough. He doesn't need the MJF
this was
part.
The whole thing. I get it. They kind of get him over as... He's not a baby face, but he's not quite a heel. He's just a fucking beast is what he is right now. And they've been trying to get him over and get him over and get him over like a beast. And there's so many other guys there. There's so many beasts there, I think. You know, when we talk about Will Hobbs and we talk but the dog collar match, only thing was the thumbtacks. Other than that, that was not needed. But the Wardlow coming in and doing, his whole shtick was perfect. And like I said, we're ready to see him do his own fucking thing. That's for sure.
Corey, you got anything to add before we talk about the one match where I was most annoyed by my pick being wrong?
I'll throw this out. I'll start with the blood thing, because Grace and I we were talking about this while we were texting too. And I agree with you guys. I think it's ridiculous. And you're talking about like, okay, look at other pay-per-views and compare it. My argument, still on the same side, is you don't even have to look at other pay-per-views. Look at some of the stuff that they've done just on regular television. Like look at the lights out matches they've had, even I'll tell you what made me a little uneasy, and I'm really not that squeamish, but on Wednesday, when they had the promo with MJF and CM Punk where he turned on him and, kicked him and started cutting his head and shit. When they zoomed in on CM Punk, you could actually see the blood, like, squirting out with his pulse.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like, that doesn't look good. I was like, I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, like, did they get a little deep? Like, what happened here? Because that, to me, was kind of gross. So, I mean, even that, compare the blood from just the promo to the match itself, it's nothing. So, yeah, I'm surprised that people are complaining about it as well. I thought it's fine.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like, just Google the mass transit incident in these.
Oh, God. we don't even need to mention mass transit. That right there is...
I remember, this was before the internet was even really huge. We had that in the tape trading scene. That was a big tape trader thing. We're like, what the fuck is this? And it was super intense. And I never seen anybody bleed like a river of blood like that in my life. Like, even with the shitty old school giant handheld camera, they zoom in on his head and you can literally see the blood flowing out of his head like a fucking river. And I'll never forget seeing that when I was in like high school. Like, it fucked me up early on.
That one was wild. I didn't see it when it happened, but I've seen it since, and Dark Side of the Ring did a good job covering it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that right there, bar none. You can't really use a New Jack match as too much of a comparison for anything modern, because those are a special type of crazy.
Oh, I've got a couple of stories.
But yeah, we'll we'll stop on that one because that right there it could be an episode in and of itself if we got to Jack's story. So we will leave that
out there, dude.
Man. Oh yeah, we'll let that one sit for another time. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about what.
I'm gonna throw one other thing on this match.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Just before we move on, I said the other thing that I think really that I enjoyed a lot was I kind of figured, okay, this is, like we've already said, this was going to be kind of the good turning point finally for Wardlow that they keep teasing. So I kind of expected that, but I will say the one thing that I didn't expect that I enjoyed a lot was like, the whole oops, I can't find the ring thing, but then capping it off with like, oh look, I did find it.
It was in the other pocket.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. and then Punk getting that pop in with the ring.
Oh
like,
God!
How many matches? Yeah, like how many matches has MJF won with the bullshit? Like, I'm gonna pull the ring out of my shorts and get a cheap shot in. Exactly. And it's like that was
good story.
Satisfying.
That was good storytelling.
Just there's years worth of karma in one jab, and I was like, hell yeah, that was awesome. So that was fun. I liked that as the kind of cap to it.
That was a major blow off to something that MJF has avoided for a very long time.
Agreed. I am ready to see who is going. The last thing I'll say about it, and it's one thing that I've mentioned before, is like, one, I want to see the Dynamite Diamond Ring become more of a focal thing instead of a once a year little tourney. Mm-hmm. It needs to be something more than just a plot device for MJF to pop people with. And I think this will kind of help that, and I hope that means that this year MJF's not going to win it again. And that's all I'll say about it. But let's talk about the Women's Championship match.
Oh.
I will say this. When I saw the debut of the new fucking belt, first thing that came to mind is like, oh shit, new belt, new champ. Especially the fact that they built it in rectangles, and I instantly thought of the Lucha Underground belt that looks like dog shit. But this belt doesn't look like dog shit. This belt is very nice. And I'm glad that they finally moved away from the dainty little girly belt to a belt that actually has some fucking substance.
Yep.
And when I saw a new belt, I was like, okay, Britt got a brand new belt when she won. Now, let's see Thunder Rosa get a brand new belt when she wins. And she didn't fucking win, and I was fucking mad. But she didn't lose clean either. So, small victory.
I just haven't seen Thunder Rosa where I want to see her yet. Even though she's against Britt Baker, I didn't believe she was going to win still. You know what I mean? Like, Britt's just going to be Britt. And there was a lot of cool stuff within the match. Like, her spearing Rebel was a really cool spot.
Mm-hmm.
But, Britt's just kind of the face right now.
Yeah.
And I don't see her dropping that title anytime soon.
I mean, I almost feel like with AEW, like a lot of their title changes for the women are going to happen almost on their like anniversary date.
Right.
And that just seems to be the case right now. It's like Sheeta lost hers at the 1 year mark. I almost feel like someone else lost theirs pretty close to that. All of them have it for a pretty long time.
It was a bullshit ending. That's all. That's really it. I mean, it's just stupid. And what was the point of even really Jamie Hayter being there? Because it was all Rebel who did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like each time there was interruptions. Yeah, it was Rebel. Jamie Hayter was just sort of there. Like, why didn't you do Rebel for one, get her kicked out?
Yeah.
And then Jamie Hayter do the second one to cause the loss. I don't know. It's just poor decisions in just how it was handled and the fact that it happened regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie needs to be out on her own already.
Yes.
She don't need Britt Baker right now. She's If you can't book her as a badass, I don't know what's wrong with you.
And like, I like Britt Baker as champ, but her time has come. And that was the best time to do it because they've had their big-ass feuds already. And Britt Baker, as she said, she came out on top even though she lost. And then she's kind of had the top of the pack since then. So it's just a good time for it to finally happen, but no, they're not going to do it, and then probably 2 weeks from now they'll finally do it, and it'll piss me off more because they could have done it before, and I could have had a perfect prediction for this pay-per-view.
As much as I would like Thunder Rosa to be champion, I don't know if it's right for her yet, but it won't be long before she's the one who should have that title. That everybody's chasing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she's going to be the next champion. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah. They're just biding their time looking for the right moment.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, in 2 weeks, they're going to be doing a Dynamite in their hometown.
Ooh. And that might be it.
But they already announced her match, I thought, for San Antonio, and it's not against Britt Baker.
No, the next one is her and Ty Conti for #1 contender spot, and then the next week title match.
Okay.
Yeah. Britt's is going over, or not, Rosa's going over on Ty. That's a guarantee. But it's going to be a good match since both of them have that kind of MMA/martial arts background.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be pretty solid. Going back to the hater situation that you were talking about, Grayson, what I think it was a missed opportunity to have Mercedes Martinez come out. And that's what I think Hater was there for, as basically the Mercedes shield. But with no Mercedes, she serves no purpose.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Well, they're just trying to make her relevant again,
Mm-hmm.
She's not. What was it? She was in that tag team with, was it Diamante?
Yeah, Evilise.
Yeah. So now you got to get her over as a singles. So it's going to be hard because her as a tag team wrestler, basically in AEW,
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Thunder Rosa can help her get over just a little bit as a singles wrestler. Even though their one-on-one match was, oh my God, they had a lot of heart, but there was a lot of boxes in that fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it for both of them because I wanted both of them to come off really strong after that.
Yeah, there were some definite missteps in this match. There were. It was honestly the second weakest match of the night, in my opinion.
Right.
Second weakest. Next, we have one of the matches that I'd also been waiting for a little while. Old Mox versus Danielson.
Oh my God.
And that, they played to both their strengths. There was a lot of brawling, a lot of strong style-esque stuff, but
exactly the match I wanted to see all night.
Yeah.
They brought it.
But to be 100% fair for this match, anything they did was completely overshadowed by the fucking surprise at the end.
Oh, yeah. How weird, right?
Oh.
That they could put on that kind of performance.
Uh-huh.
And just one person's appearance took all that away.
Yeah, I mean, it basically, he came in, boom, the roof blew off of that fucking place. Goddamn Steven Regal.
I popped. I know that.
I was so happy to see Steven Regal. And that circles back to what I was saying with Layla Hirsch earlier and Danielson. Now that Regal's there, that's even better, because what I see happening, and this is one thing I wanted to talk about earlier as well, and saved it for now, is this basically sets up, as much as to what seems to be your chagrin here, it sets up another faction where Danielson and Moxley are together underneath Regal.
And that will be devastating.
And
they're going to get the push immediately.
Yeah, and I saw it online as well. And this is also why I was saying I want Hirsch to get in at the ground floor right now with that group, because those are the people you need to learn from.
Well, I mean, those are the people she needs to be associated with anyway.
And style-wise especially. But the other part, Regal is the best fucking get AEW has gotten in the past year. In terms of not talent,
well, in terms of
but
wisdom.
Operations behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can
Hands
agree
down.
with that.
I mean, look what he did with NXT, hands down.
Yeah.
And, you know, and WWE is so stupid, they're just like, oh, he's associated with Paul Levesque. Let's just get rid of him. And look what happens.
Yep. I'm excited. Like, Wednesday night's going to be solid, and I'm hoping that Regal's going to have a nice talking point on Wednesday night, because if he doesn't, to capitalize on this momentum, it'll be a massive misstep.
Oh, yeah.
But even if they have this big misstep, it's not enough to overshadow the fact that he's going to shape a lot of these green motherfuckers up real fast.
Oh, man. I mean, those slaps were fucking legit, you know.
Oh, yeah. He didn't fucking pull anything, because he knew
his fuck out of both of them.
His two little proteges were going to be able to take it.
Yeah.
And then he paintbrushed himself on Mox.
Oh, yeah. He was just like, I was like, damn.
I'll get your blood. I'll get your blood. I don't give a fuck.
He's like, they don't call me the original villain for nothing.
Oh, yeah. That was a big moment, for sure.
Oh, man.
For the night.
So good.
And, I mean, and Mox and Danielson's match was great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I've said it 1,000 times on here when I say snug. And, you know, they were snug. That was for sure. It was a snug little match.
Yep.
And they went all out, I thought. And I was very happy with what they had done. And the story continues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not the end.
They've officially bled together now. Like, it took a while for them to even get to the blood part.
Right.
And it's officially happened, so now we got to see if they both have enough of that mutual respect to join up, and I think they will. I believe they are going to work together.
Well, Bryan Danielson had a really good match with Christopher Daniels recently.
Oh, yeah, the other night.
Dark Elevation, one of the two.
Now, real quick, I'm not sure what the fuck was up with Danielson or Christopher Daniels' eye.
Well, they've been doing that for a while since he got since his last match. Was it against the Bucks? SCU versus the Bucks, I want to think.
That's been a long fucking time. I don't even know.
He's took more of a backstage role, and they've been doing some funny little sketches with him on
BTE.
the BTE.
He's like talent relations or something like that.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. Yeah, they've been doing that ever since then with the eye. So
yeah, they're just running with that. So he just kind of has the black eye looking thing.
Because he's not going to be on the lot. He's already basically 1 foot out the door to be retired.
Yeah. I mean, he's been behind the scenes, like backstage, for a hot minute right now.
Yeah. And he deserves it. If anybody deserves it, he deserves it. He's given so much to the wrestling business in the last, 20-some years. I have nothing but high regard for Christopher Daniels. And he's at a time now where he's old, but all these things that you made famous, the kids are doing now. I remember him being like a jobber on WCW.
It's crazy stuff, how time flies.
Time flies, and somebody like Christopher Daniels deserves so much respect. And it was cool to see him and Bryan Danielson have a match. It was pretty cool.
The very first ROH match.
It was nice to see them on a bigger platform to show what kind of work they can do. but going back to the Mox and Danielson, Jesus Christ, loved it. Absolutely. It's just old school and yet just new school brutality all mixed together.
Oh, yeah. It was solid stuff.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And
now,
Rick coming out and slapping the fuck out of both of them and making them get along was just the greatest thing ever.
And it was such a good match that it makes me sad that the next match didn't live up to potential. But at the same time, it did come off a little hodgepodge to me.
Oh.
And, well, the only thing, this is the standout for this match, is honestly about all I want to say about it, other than I don't think the people that won needed to win this one. I mentioned it way earlier. But, one, my reference was not to New Jack for all the tables. My mind went immediately to Public Enemy. Because no one stacks tables like Public Enemy.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And one, God damn it, Sting. God damn it. It was a hell of a spot.
Hell of a spot.
Also, kudos on the kind of throwback-ish face paint.
Yeah.
3, the Darby vignette was misplaced.
Yeah.
Didn't really work for when they did it. It seemed disjointed and disconnected the entire intro. And 4, I'm amazed that Isaiah Cassidy is not dead.
Right?
I swear he got knocked fucking cold. Because that LED rampway, it's not like the regular rampway.
No.
That fucker is solid. And they broke one of the tables. The back of his head hit the other one. That fucker didn't break.
Oh.
And then they just went flat to the damn ground with that Spanish fly off the fucking entrance thing. That match was a comedy of errors across the board. It really was. Anyone else's thoughts on that one?
I don't think it was a bad match for what it was. You know, I didn't expect it to be Jim Crockett Promotions in 1986 or anything, but
No.
I mean that's my kind of shit anyway. I knew what it was going to be with the people who were involved, but I mean, like Sting's spot on the tables. I mean, the guy's 62, 63 years old.
Yeah, he's almost 63, if not 63 now. Or no, he's 2 weeks away from 63. So yeah,
that's
63.
crazy.
Yeah.
EGW, bro. Extreme geriatric wrestling.
Oh boy.
Anybody who doesn't respect him for doing that spot and doing it well.
Oh, he did it fucking
Not
great.
that he just did it. He actually did it well.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people much younger than him who will fuck up that spot in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But he actually was, his age and did it well, and you can't beat that. That's what makes that dude an icon. And
he didn't try to over jump it either. That's the big thing.
He knew exactly what to do, and probably also he knew how far he could actually go. Because that Stinger Splash don't look as good as it used to in the 90s, fellas. That's for sure.
No, it doesn't have as much steam behind it.
No. Yeah, this match was a hodgepodge of just fucking hardcore bullshit, to be quite honest.
It really, they had no idea what they were going for. I guess you could call it like a palate cleanser before the main event.
Right.
Because, in all honesty, like, the main event definitely washed away the bad taste of this match. I will say this, goddamn it, the bruises on Andrade. Within 5 fucking minutes of this match starting.
Andrade, man, has got so jacked.
Stupid.
Like, his shoulders are abnormally large.
Yeah, I mean, motherfucker must just do fucking chin-ups from sun up to sundown. 7 days a week.
I still love the whole, like, his homage to Black Mask in the DC comics.
Yeah, I just enjoy how he's still rocking his LIJ Mexico, like, persona, more or less.
It's awesome. It's, you know, I much prefer it, to be quite honest. You know, but the Matt Hardy shit, it's like, it's just a way to kind of combine two shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't see it as a way to propel either person. You know what I mean?
The whole AHFO and then AHFO, it's a bust.
Yeah.
I'm saying it. It's a bust. Like, Andrade's got nothing, Hardy's got nothing, and most importantly, Butcher and Blade and Private Party have been relegated to backseat completely.
Yeah.
Sucks because I think it works both of those tag teams. And I hate the position that both of them have been put in, and I think it's deserved. If you cannot make Butcher and the Blade like the bloodiest fucking, most meanest fucking tag team that you got, how you can't book wrestling. I mean, just fucking look at them. You know, and I'm not saying they're the greatest workers, but they know how to work. You know, they know how to work the characters that they have. If given the right fucking direction in a fucking storyline to show how brutal they can really be, they can really get over as solid fucking heels. But nobody believes it right now.
Corey, I heard you trying to say something a minute ago.
Yeah.
What was?
There's a bunch of things I can say about. I mean, I enjoyed the match actually. I'm going to say that I actually liked it, but what I was hoping for did not happen because it was probably way overly wishful thinking. Because, like, I'll build up to it because I'll back up and say, yeah, the AHFO thing really doesn't work for me either. And honestly, I didn't think it was working before Andrade came on. It was such a weird-ass hodgepodge of tag teams that don't really have any business being together other than just superficially Matt Hardy being like, okay, I'm just going to round them up. I'm going to buy them. And then, yeah, I mean, like, okay, Butcher and the Blade are now just a background tag team. Private Party has essentially been split up. Like, I feel like the last 3 or 4 times that they've been involved in anything, it's been Isaiah Cassidy by himself, or you know, peeled away from, you know, Private Party as a tag team and into like a trios for something like this. So that's weird too. My hope was that, you know, by some great chance that Jeff Hardy would finally show up during this pay-per-view, and that would be the end of all this AHFO nonsense. Just have him duck out, get Hardy Boys going again, just fuck this business nonsense. Doesn't work for him, it doesn't work for the tag teams that they put into it. Just get away from it. I don't care if it's like a clean, smooth storyline transition or not, but it ain't working.
It's one of those. It's just like, it could be so much better. So much better. But
like, and it makes me sad because I like all of the groups within the whole Hardy Family Office, but as a large group together, not so much.
See, the last thing I want to say about it before we move on to the main event to cap everything off is going back to Butcher and Blade. If they weren't saddled with the AHFO, they would have been a great fit for Malachi's group.
For sure.
True.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because you could have gone back to their initial debut where they were just fucking stone cold killers.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would have been glorious. Now, could they still do it? For sure. But at the same time, you run the risk of having a group that's a bit on the bloated side.
It was bad booking for them.
Yeah, it's just they missed the boat because their horse was hitched to the wrong wagon.
It should have never happened. That's for sure. I think it was a reason to keep them on television because, you know, if AEW has anything, they have factions.
Yep.
And that's how you get multiple people, you know, on television.
It's
AEW has got so much talent now they don't know what to fucking do with them.
Yeah, that's why I'm both glad and worried about them having purchased ROH. As long as they don't turn ROH into a developmental promotion and they treat it as a legitimate promotion on near equal footing to AEW, I think this will be a way to like spread things out and kind of dial back the bloat quite a bit. It's just a matter of who would want to go over there to the new ROH.
Well,
etc.
Let's be honest. If they do go to ROH, it is going to be a breeding ground for AEW.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it will be. But at the same time, I don't want it to be... I want it to be more like Black and Gold peak era NXT as opposed to current NXT.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's supposedly developmental, but it's so fucking good, you realize it's on par, if not at times better than the main product. And not the one where you pretty much just cut the balls off of it and say, this is what it is now. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping, and I think that'll solve a lot of their problems, luckily. But let's wrap up this whole thing, and let's talk about goddamn Master Chief coming out and wrestling against the Cowboy.
Yeah. I noticed that right away. I was like, why does Adam...
It was the goofiest fucking entrance gear.
What's going on here?
I mean, as a whole, it made no goddamn sense at all beyond the fact that Adam Cole loves video games and he's a Twitch streamer.
Right.
That's it.
It just come off like a WrestleMania thing to do.
Yeah, it was goofy as hell. If you're going to do that, you need a little more than just slapping some Master Chief shoulder pads onto your jacket.
But
the rest of his gear, top shelf. Top shelf. It fit perfectly with what he was going for. It's just he's not the person that strikes me as one that would do that sort of interest gear. So when I saw it, all I could think was, God damn it.
Well, I mean, this match didn't disappoint whatsoever, I don't think.
No, it did not.
When it came to pure work, I think both guys really overdid it. That first buckshot lariat that Adam Cole took, where he could, that bump he took for that, put that move over like $1 million, man. It looks so good when he done. So many bumps between each guys. I mean, I quite enjoyed the match. Maybe my second favorite to Mox and Bryan Danielson, but it was still a pretty decent little wrestle match. I was pretty happy with it, and how the story's going to continue with that as well. I mean, come on, man. Adam Cole's over as fuck, man. This isn't the last time we're going to see him for the world title. This is not one and done, I don't think.
No, Adam Cole's going to be back in the mix pretty soon. I'm glad to see someone hand him his first official,
right.
L.
Yeah.
But what it's going to do, it's not going to deter Adam Cole at all. It's going to make him work that much harder.
Yeah.
He's going to have a bigger chip on his shoulder that's going to make his character a little less goofy.
Right. Well, I mean, to me, him being with Red Dragon makes more sense than him being with the Bucks. I just don't. I would rather see him with Red Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guarantee, but at the same time, part of that's just because he's been with them for so long now. By NXT, it's already exceeded his time with Bullet Club.
Well, I mean, and he does the shit with Dark Order on BTE, and it's Billy, and it's like, no one's going to take you serious as world champion, Yeah. They just
Butch.
Butch. I fucking love that shit. I've laughed so hard at all these shit with the Dark Order, especially John Silver, man. Silver is fucking...
It also... And also, Adam Cole is actually the most decorated champion right now.
Yeah.
He is the BTE champion. That's the most prestigious AEW belt there is because it is pure talent. There's no story behind that.
Right.
Nothing's rigged.
Fucking shit. Yeah.
There's nothing rigged. That is pure talent.
Yep.
Maybe a little luck too.
Maybe a little luck too.
What a solid way to end the night because both guys laid it out on the line. They gave everything they had. It looked amazing, and it was a good way, I think, to end out the night. I mean, we're about to hit WrestleMania season, and what sucks is like AEW's top main event is two guys who are probably like half the size of whoever's on the main event at fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, WrestleMania is already shaping up to be a big pile of dog shit to me.
2 days worth of dog shit.
Repeat-a-mania, because it's
Repeat-a-mania.
There's too many repeats, and there's too many fucking celebrities.
I haven't watched it in years because there's going to be celebrities. You gotta expect it at WrestleMania, but I don't know. I really haven't seen who all they're going to have this year.
Well, they got a Paul brother. He's going to be tagging with The Miz.
Yeah.
And then I think
Logan Paul. Yeah.
And then I think Sami Zayn is wrestling Johnny Knoxville.
Yep. Again.
And then you've got Pat McAfee doing a match with Austin Theory, which they were trying to hype up as a Vince McMahon match, and now it's Austin Theory.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Pat McAfee, I've given him his props. The NXT shit, his matches there were fucking... They were actually really good. He throws down, and that's fine. But when you've got a roster like WWE and AEW for that matter, and you're cutting out people who deserve to be on this show for Logan Paul, for Johnny Knoxville, for Pat McAfee, rather than people who are wrestling day in and day out, that's at least 30 to 45 minutes of screen time total.
Yeah.
That you have just wasted.
Honestly, like it's been just such a shit show for them over the past year or so. I can't even bring myself to want to talk about it. It's that kind of fucking bad. And it's just
I'll just say, out of those three, I will have no problem watching the Pat McAfee match. Despite the fact I dislike it, he does know how to wrestle, and he will put on a good wrestling match with Austin Theory. Not going to take that away from those two.
No.
Is that really a WrestleMania match? Absolutely not. That is a kickoff show match.
Yeah.
And if it's not a kickoff show match, you dumb fucked up.
Vince ain't wrestle nobody. Not at, what is he, 73?
I'm just going to keep making weird names for WrestleMania this year. WrestleLamia. Fucking just so many, because that's all it is this year. I mean, their biggest hype, honestly, the biggest thing they got going for it is whether or not fucking Steve Austin's going to wrestle KO.
I still don't think you will.
I mean, KO apparently called him out on Raw tonight. Who knows? And you know how much I give a shit? I'll let you know somewhere between now and the second of fucking never. Because I don't.
I don't want to see Steve Austin wrestle again.
I don't either.
I really don't.
It's going to make me sad. I know it
exactly. Will. Like, Steve Austin's still jacked as shit, but come on, man. It's been like 20 fucking years. Let it go.
Yeah. Some people don't.
You've already made the mistake. You got Goldberg.
Old bird.
Don't need
Steve is at least a smart worker. If you're comparing him to Goldberg, I mean, Steve knows how to work a match, and he knows his limitations, I'm sure. And whatever you see, he's not going to be Stone Cold of old. It just can't be. How can it be?
Yep.
And the only way to ever do Stone Cold is just let him stun some people and be done with it.
Yeah. Drink a few beers, stun a few dudes, and call it a night.
And call it, yeah.
Yep.
That's what it's
going to
be.
get a big pop because you're fucking Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us remember those. As a wrestling guy,
It's like, I like you, but I don't want to admit that I do.
I don't want to
all
admit
these
that
stupid rednecks.
Yeah. But these assholes they'll be like, yeah, I know you like Stone Cold, but I also like the Undertaker. So like when the Undertaker crucified Stone Cold, I had a field day with the rednecks at high school. Because I was like, hey, what about? Because they always used to talk about what Stone Cold was doing. What Stone Cold did last night. Did you see what Stone Cold did? Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And that time he got crucified, I'll never forget. They never said a word to like him.
You see what Stone Cold did last night? No, you didn't, because he got fucking crucified.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did.
Oh, man. Now, Commish, did you have anything to weigh in on Cole and Hangman? Because I know you've been quiet, probably listening to Ruben.
He's still snoozing. Yeah, not a lot that hadn't already been said. Back to the just even the entrance. Yeah, I was actually shocked by the really bad Halo cosplay.
I mean, whoever made it did an amazing job making those parts.
But put them on a leather jacket.
Yeah, I mean, the parts themselves, if you divorce them from the leather jacket and the ham-fisted way they were, debuted,
yeah,
they were very well done. But
they don't belong there.
No, they don't. Now, his ring gear, very well done as a Halo homage.
Yeah.
Very well.
They put the helmet on the dick.
Yeah, they did.
But I mean, all of that, that's all well and good, and it works. But yeah, the entrance gear, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked incomplete. It didn't look.
That's that's what it is. It looks like they had an idea and just didn't finish it.
Adam Cole's
close enough.
I'm not wearing a fucking helmet. I want everyone to see my wet down hair.
That's right.
It's like when you watch the TV show Vikings and you realize, hey, guess what? Vikings didn't fight without helmets on, but all these people are because you can't see their face, and they're trying to sell them as sex symbols or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's why you can see what they look like, and it's ridiculous that they're out there fighting without helmets.
That's why 90% of all superheroes that wear masks in movies don't have their masks or helmets on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same reason. You got to see the moneymaker.
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah, but
yeah, I guess match wise, I mean, there's not really a whole lot else to say. I mean, it was a really solid, straightforward match.
Mm-hmm. It was one of the better Hangman matches that have been made in a while.
I think Adam Cole is one of those guys who is perfectly made for someone like Adam Page.
Mm-hmm.
They just feed off of each other really well. The size comparison is just right for them.
Yeah, he's not too much bigger than Adam Cole, but Adam Cole doesn't look just completely outsized by him.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, I would say probably my favorite part of that whole match was Hangman still walking up to him and then, shaking his hand anyway.
Force shaking. Because he grabbed his wrist, kind of made him shake his hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I was like, that's cool. That's a nice, show of respect. I mean, Cole was out, air quotes, out cold. So,
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Hey, solid pay-per-view from start to finish.
Oh, yeah, solid.
Even with the buy-in part, there was a lot going on. It was interesting.
From finally landing good moonsaults to, Adam Cole having his first title match and not winning. Yep. Yeah. That was a good move. If they'd put the belt on Cole and shit on Adam Page, I would have been very angry.
It's not the right time yet.
It is not.
I mean, let this cowboy shit ride for just a little while longer.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It'll be ready soon. They'll have the right heel very soon, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree entirely. But yeah, with that, it's late as fuck. I appreciate everyone coming on. It was good to see Grayson back in the saddle again.
Yes, very glad to hear
Grayson's hot fucking minute. Hopefully he'll be able to pop back in from time to time. I know I'm still trying to grease wheels and work things out with people I know to get some different perspectives on things and have some wider variety of conversation about the same subjects. But, it is what it is. People's schedules say hard to get pinned in. And today's just worked out real well because, one, I know we all wanted to talk about fucking Revolution, and goddamn it, it was a good time. So, without much more than that, follow us everywhere. It's been a long time and I'm tired, so I'm not going to go through it all. Look at the show notes and you can see where everything is. Yes, tell your friends. All 7 of them. Yes, please, tell your friends. Post the post. It's the podcast with the most, sort of, talking about wrestling. And then tangents. Yes, most tangents. That's what we do. We're the best at it. Grayson's really good at it.
I can get off on a good tangent.
Yeah, we all can. I don't know too much about the Commish and his tangent capabilities, but he seems to be the straight man to our wild folk.
It's entirely dependent on how much I've had to drink.
Fair enough. I've had exactly one 10% beer.
Oh, just the right amount.
Just the right amount. But again, everybody, I appreciate you coming on, Grayson. Hopefully you'll be able to pop back in every so often as things progress.
Yeah.
Corey, you're always invited whenever, wherever, however we can fit you in.
I feel very, very humbled and privileged to be on here yet again.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully next time we'll be able to get John in here. I know he didn't do it this time, mostly because he hadn't finished watching Revolution yet. So he's like, no, I'm not done. But yeah, with that, Corey wants to give Falcon his special thanks for doing everything for the show.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Falcon.
There we go. That's the special Corey thank you, but from us, it's a heartfelt, legitimate thank you for making us sound good. And then other Corey says, I don't know you, but you seem pretty good.
You're a nice lady.
I'll take everyone's word for it.
With that ass.
And then the Commish says he'll destroy you at Pokemon and at all Mario-related video games on the Switch.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Corey, I'm throwing you totally under the bus there.
Oh, you absolutely are. Pokemon, maybe. Mario, no way.
I'm going to make you make friends. Oh, man. It's good stuff. Well, gentlemen, it is 1:16 as of right now. Everyone listening, you'll probably not hear that time count, but you'll hear this. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Later.